Me and my neighbor across the street, we grab our hoses and run down and wet his shed down and make sure, that nothing happened to his little place down there.
Officials say the fire was so deep into the woods that the Alabama Forestry Commission was called out. And while fire crews worked to put the blaze out, neighbors did what they could to help as well.
We have a really nice community here, and it's a blessing that people can stick together and help each other out when things like this happen.
No word yet on how many acres have burned so far or what caused it, but residents are thankful for the fast response of firefighters who helped before it was too late.
All the firemen and the state forestry people did a really good job here.
Yeah, they
so
did.
We thank them. It's a blessing we have people like that that'll come out and sacrifice a Sunday to help others.
Stephen Moody, Fox 10 News.
Let's take a look at the conditions right now outside. A beautiful, clear day with sunshine. It feels good too, but of course we can't help but think about these dry conditions that are really lending to these fires.
Yeah, Shelby, a beautiful stretch of spring weather. We've got Nicholas Herboso here with your forecast. Nick, we like when the weather is nice like this, right? Beautiful, but we also know that there's a risk.
Yeah, it's a double-edged sword kind of forecast because the conditions are great. It's spring break for a lot of our local schools.
Yeah.
And it is great to get down there, but the drought is just getting worse and worse and worse. I want to talk a little about why that's happening and why it's a good thing and a bad thing. Let's talk about this forecast here. First of all, you see this map that we have behind me. This is the upper level chart across the nation. What we see is, and I'm going to talk about this in these terms, troughing in the west, ridging in the east. Active weather out west in the central part of the country. In the east, not much going on. It is warm temperatures and dry conditions. This bump in the lines you see here, that is a ridge of high pressure. Aloft in the atmosphere, that causes sinking air, and that kills the clouds, kills any chance for rain, makes it warmer. And of course, with the lack of chance of rain, you're going to continue with the dry conditions. So there's a little weak disturbance that comes here. You see this little bump here on Thursday. It's not going to be enough to trigger any significant showers and thunderstorms. We're keeping the rain chance really low on Thursday. And then we go beyond this Friday into Saturday. The ridge is still there over the Gulf and over Florida. So we are still going to be dealing with dry conditions. The GFS forecast model is not aggressive with rainfall over the next 7 days. This is taking this all the way out through the 20th here, Monday p.m., so 7 days from now. There's barely any rain that falls across our area. Maybe a small rain chance on Thursday, a small rain chance on Sunday. We'll talk about those rain chances later. Let's look at the deficit. Let's talk about the drought conditions that we have right now. The deficit is an incredible 10 inches for the year. We're 10 inches below the mark that we would see typically at this time of year. April is a month where we get cold fronts and weather systems that pass through that typically give us a rain chance. It's just not happening. You see this extreme drought for the northeastern portions of our area. This is going to get updated on Thursday. That severe and extreme drought will likely be expanding. One other note here, talking about burn bans. That is something that is happening right now in the state of Alabama, of course. You might be wondering, why is there no red flag warning? You've heard of these two alerts before. I will mention that our humidity levels are actually a little higher. So we are not meeting the threshold for something like a red flag warning. Either way, burning is not recommended in this kind of situation. Relative humidity still around 50% in the afternoon. That with the dry conditions, not a good recipe. We will talk about our next rain chances, which are small, coming up in just a bit.
Good breakdown there, Nick. Thank you. Well, Shelby, Alabama's shark attack alert system is officially online.
Yeah, we've talked about this a lot. The system will send an alert to your cell phone if there is a confirmed attack and you're within that alert zone. Before one goes out, there must be a confirmed shark attack by a first responder agency. If that happens along a Baldwin County beach, it's going to trigger the warning system, and anyone who is south of the Intracoastal Waterway from Fort Morgan to the Alabama-Florida line, they're going to receive the alert. The system also covers Dauphin Island in Mobile County.
Now, this system is in light of an attack in the summer of 2024. Alabama lawmakers passing what's referred to as Lulu's Law. That's after the Mountain Brook teenager, Lulu Gribben, who lost her left hand and right leg in a shark attack in Florida. And just 90 minutes earlier, a mother from Virginia lost her hand in a similar attack just miles away. The Baldwin County Emergency Management Agency says this new alert system is designed to keep similar scenarios from happening here.
Attacks are extremely rare. That means very little to the person who is on the beach and then learns that a shark attack had occurred a mile down the beach and they were never informed about it. They want to know. I mean, people want to understand about these things. So this system gives us a means to reach out to them and let them know so they can make informed decisions.
Well, according to the International Shark Attack File, there have been 8 confirmed unprovoked shark attacks in Alabama waters since 1837, compared to 828 in Florida, which makes up more than half of the attacks in the U.S. The city of Mobile and the county commission have been fighting over rent at Government Plaza for 8 months now, after the commission raised rent in September. The commissioners say it's necessary because of rising costs to maintain the building, but the city says it's excessive. Fox 10's Brendan Kirby is live in the studio with the breakdown. Brendan, where do things stand with this now?
Well, Shelby, as you know, the city has been paying rent at the old rate while it negotiates with the county commission. And tonight, there may be a new development. Both governments are now targeting insurance costs as a way to close the gap. Insurance costs for Government Plaza have experienced more than a 5-fold increase over what they were in fiscal year 2019, a major driver of the overall 56% increase in maintaining the building. Mobile Mayor Spiro Cheragatis says that negotiations with the commission are now on pause while the county looks into whether it can get those insurance premiums down. Commission Chairwoman Connie Hudson confirms that the county is working to renegotiate those costs. Mayor Cheragatis says that he understands the public's frustration with the slow pace of negotiations, but he says that they're taking the time to get it right.
Sometimes you have to make quick decisions and you have to be able to do that. But frankly, when you have time to work on something, I think you should, so you know you're getting it right.
I'll have more on this tonight at Fox 10 News at 5, including what Commissioner Hudson has to say about this. Reporting live in the studio, Brendan Kirby, Fox 10 News.
Alabama's primary election is 4 weeks away. 7 candidates are vying for the state's first congressional district seat. And this Thursday, you can hear directly from all of them. Fox 10 News, WTVY News 4, and WSFA 12 News teaming up to bring you the Decision 2026 Political Forum. That'll be streaming live this Thursday night at 6:30. I'll be one of the moderators asking the questions that candidates really care about. These are issues, again, that matter most to the community. You can catch this all on Fox 10 News app, our website, or the Fox 10 News Gulfstream TV app, available on Roku, Apple TV, and Fire TV.
Traffic conditions here at 408, not bad across the Bayway and Causeway right now. There are a couple other areas that we're keeping an eye on. You see all these little incident icons. Thankfully, none of these incident icons that we see here are causing super major issues. It looks like 65 Interstate 10's going okay. Causeway's going okay at this time as well. Out in West Mobile, I have no major incidents to report. I do want to hop over to Florida, though, where we have a couple things to talk about. The biggest being this, a Hurlburt Field right here. You have the westbound lane here of US 98 pretty slow, and this is the result of an accident that happened earlier this afternoon near Woodhaven Beach in that area. It is slowing down the lanes here all the way out to Mary Esther, so just keep that in mind if you are in this area. Otherwise, traffic seems to be flowing smoothly. We'll let you know if we have any other big incidents.
After weekend peace talks between the U.S. and Iran, the U.S. military set up a blockade on Iranian ports. And now President Donald Trump has issued a harsh warning. The U.S. will sink any Iranian fast attack ships that come near the blockade. Let's go to Lee Waldman now with the latest.
After failing to reach a deal for peace, President Donald Trump has ordered the U.S. Navy to begin blockading Iranian port traffic.
It would be a considerable operation requiring a lot of surveillance, as well as, of course, the physical presence of several destroyers and probably an aircraft carrier, maybe 2.
In a post on Truth Social, President Donald Trump touted the defeat of the Iranian Navy, but warned that any fast attack ships that come close to the blockade would be immediately eliminated.
Unfortunately, the mentality of the leadership in Iran is hardening.
Iran's acting defense minister said the country is preparing for any scenario, and any aggression would result in a harsh and decisive response, according to remarks broadcast on Iran's state-run television.
Iran has said this blockade violates the ceasefire. But it's one thing to say that. It's another thing to start shooting.
Iran has been allowing some tankers through in recent days, while reportedly charging a hefty toll of up to $2 million. In the U.S., stock markets fell and oil prices topped $100 a barrel on Sunday as the blockade and failed peace talks are set to further disrupt the global economy. A gallon of gas in the U.S. cost $4.12 on average Sunday, up 38% from the start of the war, despite declining slightly over the weekend. I'm Lee Waldman reporting.
Ahead on Fox News at 4, a big night out that won't cost you a dime. The University of Mobile rolling out live music, food trucks, and a fireworks show. We're getting you ready for the Spring Spectacular in a live studio interview next. And then what is next after America's return to the moon? Days after Artemis 2 splashes down, NASA is already moving ahead. The new spacesuits, a lunar base, and how this show is just getting started. First, a live look outside. Nick telling you about the students on spring break, and yep, that's reflective. A lot of people there on the beach. Yellow flags are flying. Thank you for watching Fox 10 News at 4. Welcome back. The University of Mobile is getting ready for the Spring Spectacular, a family-friendly event with fireworks. So I have Jenna Goodwin here with the University of Mobile to tell us more about it. This is an annual year, and you and everyone else is looking forward to it.
That's right. We are so excited to tell everyone that Spring Spectacular is next Thursday night. It's an outdoor 1-hour-long concert at the University of Mobile, followed by an absolutely amazing fireworks show, and it's all free.
Awesome. So this is something that's been going on for some years now, and you say a local school is going to help you with opening it up.
You're right. So the Saraland Elementary School Show Choir is going to be kicking off our pre-show at 7 o'clock. Concert from the Alabama School of the Arts students that are unbelievably talented, from our gospel ensemble to our jazz band, our worship collective, Voices of Mobile, Ram Corps. They will all do a really awesome concert. Typically, my kids dance the entire time.
There you go.
It is so much fun. 1 hour of music followed by that fireworks show, and before all of that we'll have food trucks, mini golf, some inflatables. So it is a fun, family-friendly event, and we wanted to say come.
Fair, and it's free to go to. You named some of the favorites of mine, you know, that I've seen from the Christmas Spectacular.
Yes, that's right.
I like this idea too, because it gives students at a younger level to see what they can aspire to.
That's right.
The older level.
That's right. It is. I mean, all ages can come and enjoy this outdoor concert. We do say bring your lawn chairs and picnic blankets, because you set up on the lawn outside to enjoy the night. The weather has been amazing. Listen, there is so many exciting things happening at the University of Mobile, and I'll also say that it's not too late to apply to the University of Mobile, to audition to be a part of our program. But more than anything, we're saying, hey, come to Spring Spectacular next Thursday night. It's free. We'd love to have you.
And it gives you an idea of the culture of the university. And I'm glad you talked about admissions, because recently you guys sent out information about how certain programs, there's a reduction in the tuition fee. So there's always something going on there.
You're
and a
right.
lot of incentives.
And we have seen record numbers as far as first-time students that will be starting next fall. And the day after Spring Spectacular, we will have our Ram Ready, which is our new student registration day. And we're so excited to welcome what we hope will be a record-breaking large class. But like I said, not too late to apply. Even if you're an online student, undergraduate, graduate, doctoral student, umobile.edu is where you can learn about all that we have, including tickets to Spring Spectacular.
You just said it all. There's nothing left for me to say. Thank you.
Well, thank you for having me.
It's always so much fun having you here.
Yes, thank you so much.
Appreciate the work that you guys do over there at the university. And Go on out, have a blast. That is next Thursday, the Spring Spectacular. If you're familiar with the Christmas Spectacular, you know it's going to be the same level of excellence.
It is, but casual and relaxed, so come have fun with us.
All right, we'll have this posted for you on our website shortly after this newscast, so you can share it with a friend and make sure you have that information there on the particulars about what you need to bring with you. Thanks again.
Yes, thanks for having me.
A look outside Mobile River, Mobile Bay from the Eastern Shore Toyota Camera Network. It is a warm afternoon on the Gulf Coast. Temperatures soaring into the 70s and 80s. The temperature map this afternoon giving us a good clue as to what it's going to look like through the rest of the week, with slightly cooler temperatures near the coast. Temperatures in the upper 70s right now here at 4 o'clock. And then you have temperatures inland in the middle 80s. This kind of temperature range will continue with inland folks in the or at least near 90 degrees by the middle and later part of this week, with our coastal temperatures getting up into the low 80s. A dry forecast continuing. Other views from our camera network. This is 78 degrees right now with a south wind from the Battleship Memorial Park at the USS Alabama, looking towards the Causeway and the Bayway. Down at Orange Beach, a lot of folks out there enjoying the surf. We have the moderate risk of rip currents out there today, so it's not too bad to get into the water. Just got to pay attention. Southeast wind at 7 miles per hour. That southeast wind will continue in the days ahead. That is going to keep that moderate risk of rip currents. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, the next 3 days here. With that temperature getting close to 80 degrees down at the immediate coast. And again, that surf around 2 to 3 feet over the next couple of days. Also, if you're heading down to the beach, do not forget that sunscreen, because our UV index is at a 10, so it is very high. Forecasts tomorrow afternoon. Again, that range of temperatures that I talked about. Look at the 70s near 80 degrees at the immediate coast. 80 in Pensacola tomorrow afternoon. 82 in Mobile. Temperatures inland 87 degrees in Chatham, Monroeville, Atmore, and Bruton there. 88 in Evergreen. So a really warm afternoon ahead. Could even feel a little bit of a heat index with the moisture that we have in the air. Let's skip way ahead. We're going to go all the way to Friday, where Friday afternoon temperatures at 90. The big 90 in Chatham and Evergreen there. 89 in Monroeville, 89. Bruton, Atmore, 89 in Grove Hill and Calvert as well. So all those inland spots hitting that 90-degree marker, very close to it. Temperatures in the 80s at the immediate coast. That was looking ahead all the way to Friday. Here's the trend. As you can see, we're soaring up into the weekend. There's a weak system that comes through for Saturday into Sunday that'll knock temperatures down very, very slightly for early next week. And as we lead up to that system, you're going to have moisture building, so there's almost going to be a muggy heat index kind of feel for us towards the end of the week. Looking at our rain chances, they're pretty much near zero. You can see here on future cast Tuesday is going to be a lovely day. We'll start with some patchy fog inland. Then as we go into the afternoon, maybe a couple of clouds. There's really not much to look at here on the future cast. Here's something. Wednesday, with more moisture in the atmosphere, could see a little bit of fog developing, but overall no significant rain chances in our forecast. Thursday, there's a small chance of a coastal shower with a disturbance passing through. And then Sunday, that's that cold front that brings that temperature change into early next week. However, the models are not super aggressive. With the GFS forecast model has barely anything on it, and you can see here barely any rain over the next 7 days. Here's the 10-day outlook. It's pretty dry here. Those temperatures soaring into the 80s. Low rain chances keeping this pattern going over the next 10 days.
All right, Nicholas, thank you. Well, the FAA and the U.S. Transportation Department are turning to video gamers to help fill air traffic control jobs. Yeah, the FAA launched a next-generation recruiting campaign as it struggles with the ongoing shortages. The agency says exit interviews found many controllers credit gaming with helping them, quote, think quickly, stay focused, and manage complexity. The FAA says transferable skills include multitasking, spatial awareness, and problem solving. Applications open Friday at midnight for the annual air traffic control hiring window.
Interesting approach. After the successful return of Artemis 2, NASA is turning its attention to what's next for Artemis 3 and 4. Jared Isaacman, the agency director, says it's only the start for space exploration. Fox News correspondent Madison Scarpino with this story.
After a brief 53-year intermission, the show goes on, and NASA is back in the business of sending astronauts to the moon and bringing them home safely.
Just a few days after the Artemis 2 crew returned safely back to Earth, NASA is already planning its next moon mission.
The mobile launcher is preparing to go back to the VAB. Artemis 3 will start being assembled, and the next crew will begin preparing to play their part.
Artemis 3 is expected to launch sometime in mid-2027 with the goal of testing out flight procedures and docking capabilities in low Earth orbit. The mission will also include new spacesuits. Specifics about design features and a crew will be announced next year.
Part of our ethos as a crew and our values from the very beginning were that this is a relay race. In fact, we have batons that we bought to symbolize physically that. We plan to hand them to the next crew, and every single thing that we do is with them in mind.
Then comes Artemis 4 with the aim of returning humans to the moon's surface to study the lunar environment. It will set the stage for potential annual crewed missions.
We're recognizing a milestone in spaceflight history that advances America's bold return to deep space, this time to stay.
In the next decade, NASA wants to establish a permanent moon base so that astronauts can live and work there and then eventually land on Mars. In Atlanta, Madison Scarpino, Fox News.
When we come back here at 4, after a major loss in 2024, Nicole Kidman is taking a new role far from Hollywood. We've got the details in your entertainment news next.
The Fox 10 Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. We, the republic, which stands one nation under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
The Fox 10 Pledge of Allegiance.
Britney Spears voluntarily seeking unspecified treatment in a facility. The singer's representative confirming she checked herself in, a move that comes after Spears was arrested last month on the suspicion of driving under the influence.
Now, Spears has a long history of mental health struggles, was under a conservatorship for several years, and that ended in 2021.
Since then, the Baby One More Time singer has posted questionable content on social media. Some of her fans are concerned about what they're seeing. Her team says the treatment might be the first step toward long-needed change.
I truly hope so, and I wish her all the best. You were the one that let me know that she had checked herself in this weekend.
Yeah, I sent you a text message. It was like, did you see this?
Yeah, because we've both read her book and really kind of
had empathy.
Empathy for sure. Grew up with Britney Spears on my TV and on my radio, and so I really do hope that she gets some help, because as everyone says, watching her social media, you're concerned.
She likes to dance.
It's different, but it's like, yeah.
I hope that she is where she needs to be.
Yep. Well, Nicole Kidman is exploring a new path, one focused on end-of-life care. The Oscar-winning actress is learning to become a death doula, a caregiver who provides emotional, spiritual, and practical support for people in their final days.
The idea seems to have come after she lost her mother in 2024. Nicole says her mom sometimes felt lonely and there was only so much the family could do.
Kidman says she wishes someone could have been there to offer her mother comfort and impartial support.
So how was this different? And I don't want to say that hospice care only deals with people who are at the end stage of life, because that's not true. They do a lot of work at hospice facilities. But one of the things they do is they care for someone who is dying.
Yeah, someone in my family works for hospice and is a chaplain and talks to people and their families during those final times, similar to what she's wanting to do. I think it is very empathetic of her, very, something aspiring that she's doing. But yeah, I am curious to know kind of how that role would be different from a hospice role.
It's a heavy role. And hats off to anyone out there who's there for others at their time of need.
Yeah.
We do have more entertainment news to talk about.
An actress is being honored, a new showbiz documentary, and a look at the Hunger Games prequel.
Ooh, that's a lot. David Daniel has your Hollywood Minute.
Remember?
Lionsgate has released this look at Hunger Games characters from the original movies and who plays them a quarter century earlier in The Hunger Games: Sunrise on the Reaping. The latest film in the franchise hits theaters November 20th.
Confident, bordering on arrogant, but it's so attractive.
because, it's backed up by skill.
It's not arrogance if you can back it up. Rosamund Pike has won an Olivier Award, London Theatre's version of the Tony Awards, for her star turn in the drama Inter Alia. The Best Actress honor is Pike's first Olivier Award.
Producer, pop star, manager, Peter Asher.
Even if you don't know his name, you know his legacy. Peter Asher, Everywhere Man, looks at how the performer who rose to fame as half of Peter and Gordon began working behind the scenes with Paul McCartney and became a manager and/or producer for James Taylor, Linda Ronstadt, and other legends. The documentary debuts in theaters June 19th. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
I'm surprised we didn't talk about Coachella.
Oh, totally forgot. How could I?
Lizzo, Bieber.
It's Biebercella, everybody said.
Something like that. We'll have it maybe tomorrow.
Okay.
All right. Next, the community is coming together to help a little girl with a rare condition.
It is all about Eleanor and how you can help. We're going to have a live studio interview with her mother next.
And we'll also have this story.
So if you're consistently aiming to meet your fiber needs through your diet, you're only going to maximize those benefits.
A dietitian is calling it the IT nutrient of the year. How much do you really need? And what are the ways to incorporate more fiber into every meal?
Committed to you. This is Fox 10 News.
All right, welcome back in. We want to tell the story of a special little girl. She is here with us right now, and you can see she's just a little upset. She was napping, and I think all the bright lights are a little much, so that is okay, though. It's live TV, and we're so glad that Eleanor is here. She's battling a rare bone disorder. That's why we're here. And there's a way the community can come together to support her. So we want to talk about Eleanor's story and how you guys at home can take part. Her mother, Tasha, and Stuart Butler, her father, are here with me. Thank you both so much for being here today.
Thank you for having us. We appreciate it.
Yes. And talk about Eleanor and her condition.
So Eleanor has what you call osteogenesis imperfecta, which is a brittle bone disease. Here lately, she has been fracturing way more than normal, and her pain has increased significantly. So about 3 Saturdays ago, she broke a rib in her sleep. And that is when we decided we were going to fundraise until we couldn't fundraise anymore.
And I know that this is something that is rare. Do you know others in the community? Do you have that support? Have you found others that have this?
We have. There is a Facebook group that is like OI Parents, and we're actually a really tight-knit community. So everybody, they do help a lot with any questions that we may need.
And I know that has to feel very just isolating and scary, not knowing your little girl, not doing anything to be able to help the situation.
Yes.
That has to be tough every day to live with that.
It is. It is really, it's really scary. And not being able to, sorry.
No, you're good.
Not being able to, you feel very helpless when she's in pain to be able to fix that for her. And that's why we're doing this, because we're trying to get her to one of the top OI programs in Nebraska. And we're really excited. And I think that from when we get her there, that it'll be life-changing.
And what does treatment look like, or things that can help her?
So we do there's different medicines, you know, depending on her bone density. She will have probably rods through her legs and her arms to help, probably soon. She will absolutely need a spine surgery later on also. But hopefully with all that going, we're hoping that she lives a very comfortable, fulfilled life.
Yeah, and you guys are very strong, and I know it takes a special parent to, represent and be there for her and do something like this. So May 3rd, there is an event to help get her more help that she needs. Talk about that for me.
Yes, we're having an event May 3rd at the beautiful Bella Sarah Gardens. We are so excited. We are going to have live music. We're going to have food, so much for the kids, inflatables, petting zoo. We have so many awesome raffles and silent auctions that the community has given us and helped us with. We're so grateful for everything.
Yeah, that's really special to have people rally behind you like that. If people want to know more about getting tickets, can they get them ahead of time, or is it at the gate or at the door when you get there?
You just come in. Everything around is free. The food will have tickets, and we'll have like ticket booths inside of the event.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for being here. And I hate Eleanor. She's so precious. But of course, she had to walk out and get a little, fresh air out there. So that's okay. We will be praying and thinking of you guys and hoping that this event is just a huge success.
Thank you so much.
All right. Of course, you can rewatch this interview or share it with someone you know. It's going to be posted on our website, fox10tv.com. And thank you so much again for being here.
Thank you for having me.
It's 4:38 on your Monday afternoon. A live look outside from our Eastern Shore Toyota Camera Network. It's the Admiral camera. And you can see here it is blue sky. It's a quiet, lovely day out there. I want to remind you the Fox 10 Gulfstream app is your place to be for your weather forecast. If you want the full weather forecast on demand on your television, you can, of course. This is a Roku that we're using right now, but any of our smart TVs work. Download this Fox 10 Gulfstream app. Here's the Roku homepage. Fox 10 Gulfstream. All you have to do is go to the search section right here and search Fox 10 Gulfstream, and it'll come up here. Then you will download the app and open it up, and it is a super easy process to get on here and take a look at the stuff. But yes, here it is, the weather section of the app. Also, don't forget that the next weather section of the app is on here, and this is a very useful tool with a whole bunch of stuff that you can look at, including talking about the drought, which is something that we've been talking about. And there's other stuff on here. I will mention that if you go to previous newscast section here, you have the previous newscast, and community section also has those studio interviews. So those are also available on that. Let's go ahead and talk about something that we've been talking about on Next Weather here, talking about where you can get your best sources of information on top of the Fox 10 Gulfstream. Take a look at it here. If you have not followed the team on social media, I highly encourage that you do so, because we post information on top of what we already post on Fox 10 Gulfstream and all of our other platforms. We post those here, of course, on social media. So just search our names on social media to get more content. All right, drought has been a big topic for us here, and it looks like the drought is expanding and worsening. You can see severe drought in that orange color for most of our area. Looking ahead in the forecast models, I'm just going to let this run. And you're going to see that high pressure generally stays in control, and you don't see much green over our area until maybe Sunday. It comes close with the front passing through here, but it's a quiet forecast for us. So if you have outdoor plans, put on the sunscreen, because it's going to be staying partly sunny. Look at the 10s on the UV index forecast and the watering forecast. Despite a very small rain chance here on Thursday, water is something that you will definitely need on the lawn over the next few days as rain chances stay pretty much near zero. Only 20% on Thursday and Sunday. Also, a warm pattern is ahead. We'll talk temperatures possibly up near 90 degrees here in the 7-day outlook. All of those details coming up.
Thanks, Nick. It's an essential part of a healthy diet. Fiber hasn't already gotten the recognition it deserves. Experts say that is starting to change. Mandy Gaither explains why in your Health Minute.
It's primarily found in plant-based foods like fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and legumes. Fiber is known to aid digestion, but it also has a host of other benefits.
Fiber provides prebiotics, and prebiotics feed the good gut bacteria in our stomach to help them grow and flourish.
Julia Zumpano with Cleveland Clinic says gut health is more important now than ever, and fiber is a key component of that, which is why she calls it the IT nutrient of the year. But if you're going to increase your fiber intake, take it slow to avoid stomach distress. Begin by being mindful about how many plant-based foods you're eating in a day.
We usually say try to include 1 to 2 fiber-rich foods with each meal.
For breakfast, Zumpano says that could include Greek yogurt with berries topped with nuts and flaxseed, or some eggs with veggies scrambled in. She says a fiber-rich lunch could include a salad or a veggie soup. And dinner is some sort of protein with a whole grain and whatever veggie side you enjoy. There are fiber supplements that can provide some benefit as well, but Zumpano says it's best to get the nutrient through your diet if possible, because fiber-rich foods can help keep you full, slow down the rate of glucose absorption in the bloodstream, and help to manage weight and cholesterol.
There's so many other benefits of fiber, so if you're consistently aiming to meet your fiber needs through your diet, you're only going to maximize those benefits.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
All the Fox 10 News crews are working right now on your breaking news updates and follow-ups for your most local news at 5.
And we are continuing to follow up on a shooting that left 2 people injured at the Grand Bay Horse Show. We've got the latest on this investigation coming up.
And then also the Alabama legislative session is finishing up. Which bills are heading to the governor's desk and which ones are being left on the cutting floor? Also, a cruise ship docked in the port of Mobile is delayed. What's the holdup and the improvements coming to the port? That's all coming your way on Fox News at 5 in about 15 minutes from right now.
In your forecast, warm and dry, the biggest deal for us with little to no rain expected over the next 7 days. We do have decent beach weather in place, though. Good for all the spring breakers that are out there this week. Very warm pattern continues. Let's just go 10 days out as far as we can here with our temperature outlook. Notice towards the end of this week into the early part of the weekend, the numbers soar into the middle 80s. The way we do this here is the number you see on this graphic is for Mobile. So inland, it's going to be warmer than this and possibly substantially warmer than this. About 5 degrees higher. I've seen some numbers on Friday and Saturday pushing 90 degrees or at 90 degrees. So a really warm forecast there. There is a system that comes through Saturday into Sunday. Notice the temperatures take a small dip here into the low 80s for the early next week period. It is still going to be a dry period, though. I'm not expecting much rain with that front. Let's look beyond this. April 19th to the 23rd. This is the Climate Prediction Center outlook. Warmer than average temperatures continue. You see the bubble that's over our region? That is a sign of the weather pattern. It's a ridge of high pressure across the southeast that will lead to these warm and dry conditions. You can see this reflected in the GFS forecast model. Here's high pressure at the surface. You can see the flow that comes over Florida through the Gulf here and then turns more southerly as it gets into our region. Doesn't change very much here as we go to tomorrow and the next day. Here's Thursday, and Thursday you can see maybe the possibility of a coastal shower. Otherwise, it's dry, and taking the outlook all the way into Sunday, there's the front, but barely any rain along that front. So a dry forecast continues. Let's skip ahead here. We're going to talk about the 10-day outlook. There's that 20% chance of rain. A weak disturbance comes through on Thursday. Could see a couple coastal showers, but overall no weather interruptions expected and no helpful rain. Sunday, that front passes through. Temperatures go down very slightly for early next week.
Today, Hope for a Home. Fox 10 is partnering with Heart Gallery Alabama to find families for some very special children. Heart Gallery Alabama is a nonprofit organization dedicated to finding forever families for children in Alabama's foster care system. And today, we want you to meet Dominique.
Funny, friendly.
That's how 15-year-old Dominique describes herself. The high school freshman enjoys school, especially her classes in sign language. Check it out as she shows us the alphabet.
This is A, this is B, this is C.
When she's not in the classroom, Dominique loves to be busy.
Outside of school, I like to go out, like go to YMCA, play basketball. I like to swim. I like to go on a trampoline.
She's always up for a fun adventure.
I like to go places, I like to go play around, have fun. I'm a more of an active kind of person.
Her favorite food?
I love seafood.
She also loves music and animals.
I love animals, I love pets, dogs. My 2 favorite dogs is a greyhound. And you know the little small dogs, it's called a Shih Tzu. I like animals in general.
And Dominique loves to help people. That actually falls right in line with what she wants to do when she finishes school.
I want to be like a neurosurgeon or a traveling nurse.
A goal she would love to share with a forever family.
If if you want to learn more about Heart Gallery Alabama's program or how to adopt a child from the foster care system, we have a link for you on our website, fox10tv.com, giving you a chance to complete your family and make dreams come true for a special child. You can watch this story and any of the other Hope for a Home stories we have done on our Fox 10 News Gulfstream TV app.
We have some congrats to pass along here at Fox 10 News. Our Natalie Williamson taking home not one, but 2 Abby Awards last night in Birmingham.
A huge night for her and for our entire team here at Fox 10. She won awards for the best news reporter in the state and best investigative reporting for her work on a controversial arrest by a Mount Vernon police officer. And I told her, I said, nobody works harder than you, Natalie. This is very well deserved. Congratulations.
She was so excited. I sent her a text message and I said, congratulations, like in all caps, like 10 exclamation marks. You know, it's a privilege really to bring you the stories that we do every day here at Fox 10. There's a lot of work that goes behind it, so we appreciate that award. A beaver walks into a Canadian grocery store and a puppy is spotted peeking out of a chimney top. That's in today's Take a Look at This. When we get a chance to talk about.
Well, I'm already laughing.
A large beaver makes an unexpected trip to a Canadian grocery store. This is in a town made famous by Nickelback, and it might be the most Canada thing ever.
But it happened, and it was all caught on camera. Look at this photograph. Okay, Jeremy Roth. So today's Take a Look at This.
You're gonna.
So, a beaver walks into a grocery store, right? Oh, it's not a joke. It's a thing that happened in the Canadian town of Hannah. As in Nickelback's hometown of Hannah, you ask? The very same. Just look at this photograph. Anywho, video posted by the Royal Canadian Mounted Police shows the surprised shopper pop through the entrance of the business and then, seemingly realizing its mistake, it attempts to exit, but to no avail. RCMP officials say they were contacted about the trespasser, responded, and used non-forceful means to coax the beaver back outside, where it was released. They posted photos in case the beaver was spotted elsewhere, saying he's not considered armed and dangerous, but his tail was pretty big. Watch firefighters rescue a stuck puppy seen peeking out of a chimney top in Michigan. After neighbors spotted the tiny pup atop the chimney of the crumbling home, Detroit Fire Department officials responded and set up a ladder rescue, climbing to the roof and pulling the pup to safety. They brought it back to level ground and reportedly nicknamed it Stack before handing it over to Michigan Humane, who says Stack is now working on gaining some much-needed weight and will soon be made available for adoption. Finally, watch a group of Utah runners put the fast in fast food in an attempt to break the most fast food eateries visited in a 24-hour period. KSTU reports the group gathered and got moving in Salt Lake County, making quick stops for small bites, sampling, then scurrying to the next place. Organizers made a map so supporters could keep track of the pack in real time, and the group says they totaled 176 eateries when it was all over. The current Guinness World Record is 150 fast food restaurants, so time will tell if this group's fleet of foot fast food feet will be the new record to beat. For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
At 5 of the biggest spills in Shelby, what rose to the top this year?
Well, in Easton Cameron, lawmakers tackled everything from utility oversight to school displays and animal welfare. Here are 5 of some of the biggest bills. The 2026 legislative session is over. Here are 5 measures set to become law in Alabama. HB 475 expands the Public Service Commission from 3 statewide seats to 7 seats elected by congressional district and creates a Secretary of Energy position. The law also prohibits electricity rate increases until January of 2029, extending an existing rate freeze by 2 years. The U.S. Energy Information Administration shows Alabama's average residential electricity rates are higher than other Southeast states. Governor Ivey signed SB 99, requiring public schools to post the 10 Commandments alongside other historical documents. The sponsor says the goal is to highlight biblical law's role in America's founding principles. And Governor Ivey also signed Bo's Law, which requires dogs to have access to food, water, and shelter, and it places restrictions on how dogs can be tethered outdoors. Senate Bill 57 directs the state to seek a federal waiver prohibiting purchasing candy and sugar-sweetened soda with SNAP benefits. Diet drinks would not be included. Supporters say it could help address obesity and other health issues. And House Bill 527 is headed to the governor's desk, and if signed, it would create a state income tax deduction for overtime pay up to $1,000 per year from 2026 through 2028. It would also suspend the state's sales tax on groceries from May 1st through June 30th of this year. And again, those are just 5 of some of the bills that passed this year. I've got it already posted to our website, fox10tv.com, many of the other bills as well. The legislature returns in February. In the studio, Shelby Myers, Fox 10 News.